Hello and welcome to Walks with Holly. In case you're joining us for the first time, I am Holly and I am a housewife and mom of 4 kids. And I am here with my mom, who is a homeschooling expert. She homeschooled myself and my siblings for years, and she is also a retired public school teacher. So today we are going to talk about socialization when you homeschool your children. So
Yeah, that's always the big question, right, Holly? Mm-hmm. I mean, your friends say, but what about socialization? Mm-hmm. Okay, I've got a question for you. What are you training your child to become, an adult or a child? That's the big question. Because if you are training them to be a child, they're in the perfect place in the public school or any school situation, because they're going to be hanging around with kids all day learning how to be a child. But if you want to teach them to be an adult, a majority of their time needs to be around adults. And who are the best adults to be around? Their own parents. Now, that is the introduction to this, but we will also say that there are tons of ways to get our kids involved with other children. And I don't know, we can almost do a shooting match here, one naming things over and over and over. I think that most of you already know some of the answers to this, but I want to warn you, we're going to name a lot of things. Holly's going to suggest some things, I'm going to suggest some things for socialization, but don't go crazy. For example, if you have a child who is going to play football, doesn't mean all your sons have to play football. If your child's going to do dance, doesn't mean every single child has to do dance. Find something they're passionate about. Okay, so having said that, we're going to shoot off a lot of different suggestions and so that your child can be social. Now, Holly, you mentioned back there, a ways back when we were doing some other videos about moms getting together and doing like play dates. That was one way, a very simple way, especially when they're younger and they're not used to being around, large crowds of children. Mm-hmm. That's a good way to start.
Especially play dates with other homeschooling moms. Mm-hmm. And so, my kids have a lot of friends that are, other homeschool kids, and,
mm-hmm.
They have friends that are in public and private school as well.
Right. Okay, so church, you got Sunday school, Awana, all kinds of activities at church, mm-hmm. right? That's another resource. Then there's going to be the activities that they might be involved in. Sports. There's all, we could name a whole bunch of sports, but I think you know what we mean when we say sports. Okay, dance, music. My one granddaughter loves art in where I live, and they had a homeschooling art class. So that gives her an outlet. She spends time with other students who also love art, and she's in a class situation, but she's socializing. Okay? They have, I don't know if you have them at yours, but there's park days for homeschoolers. A lot of times homeschoolers get together and they have park days, they have field trips. I don't know if you remember some of the field trips you went on when you were a child.
Definitely.
What would you say was your favorite field trip that you went on?
I can't even say.
We went whale watching one time. So we got all the homeschoolers together and we got it all arranged and we went whale watching.
Say Disneyland, that was my favorite field trip.
Yeah, that's fun. And the best part is we could go to Disneyland in the middle of the week. We didn't have to get out of school to do it too. So, but we went to the fire department and restaurants in town and just...
So this was all with other homeschooling
mm-hmm.
families.
Right, so socializing with
during all these field trip activities, etc., this was opportunities for the kids to have socialization.
Right, and here's another thing to consider with socialization. When your child is in a public school or a private school, they are actually with children their own age, same age mates. And that is not always the best socialization. Is that really like real life? In real life, do you just hang around with people your same age? No, and the beauty of working with a homeschool group and going on field trips and play dates and park days is that they're working are playing with children that might be older than them and might be younger. So it helps them to be responsible. Say, can you play with the little kids over here? Can you, here, go hang out with Johnny. He's a little older than you, but that's okay. He can kind of learn how to get along with different people. Now, what are the big advantages of the homeschooling child versus the child that's in a school situation? I mean, if you can't think of one right off the bat.
I didn't know you were asking me.
I'm just saying you might want to jump in, but I'm just saying that one thing, the big advantage is, and I'm sure you've seen this, when your children are around other adults, they're respectful and they engage in conversation.
Definitely.
And if you've ever been around children that are in a regular school situation, you try to have a conversation with them and they don't even know how to talk to you. So one thing I've noticed with my children, my son's children who are also homeschooled, and Holly's children, is they readily speak to adults, engage in conversation, and are quite interesting to talk to.
And that is why my husband, one of the big reasons why he wanted us to homeschool is because he saw the kids that were in our church mostly, that were homeschooled, and he thought the kids that were homeschooled, they were definitely more easier to talk to. And we knew that that was part of the reason.
Yes.
Because they are in just an environment with different ages, and they're not with the same age all day long, learning from, I hate to say this, but the immaturity of their, you know, their peers. So anyways, that is, that is
true.
A big thing.
And you know, this is supposed to be a disadvantage. A lot of people think, oh, the disadvantage is they don't get to be around their own same age classmates. It's actually a disadvantage in that respect, but an advantage for homeschooling. So I would say socialization, 2 thumbs up. It is a advantage in so many ways. Conversing with adults, learning to work with other age children, and building their vocabulary and being able to have a conversation. So big advantage. So if you're thinking about homeschooling and socialization is a big question mark, okay, we've just named a huge advantage for you. We hope that that clears it up.
Okay, and again, you know, trying to get more connected with other homeschoolers in your area. I've said this before in previous videos. You know, whatever city, town, part of the country you live in, go to good old Google again and just put in homeschool support groups, and I guarantee you, you're gonna find something. And you know, get connected with those homeschool support groups.
Absolutely.
Our kids also do a 2-day-a-week co-op through a charter school, but it's called a homeschool enrichment program. And you know, my kids have a bunch of new friends now from going to this, and it's, you know, it's not an all-day thing. It's just for a few hours, a couple days a week. So anyways, there is a lot of options out there. You just have to, you know, you have to look around, and your kids will have socialization one way or another. So, well, that is all we have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up and hit that like button. And also, would you hit that subscribe button and subscribe to my channel? We have a lot more homeschool videos in this series, and I don't want you to miss a single video. So please continue to support my channel by subscribing, watching the videos, and again, I hope to see you next time on Walks with Holly.